Welcome to Beasnael. We are not the same. Oh, I'm so excited. Today is very special. I have two guests, Sandra Izsadore, who knows something about the pursuit of purpose, if I can say that correctly. And then I have none other but Fernando Pullum, who understands the joy of what collectivity brings to a community and a society. With that said, Beasnael, we are live on a Zoom call. Sandra, welcome.
Thank you, Natalie, for having me here today.
You're welcome. And Fernando, welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to meet you.
Glad to meet you as well. And you know what? I cannot wait to go and check out, your center. A little birdie told me that you have a center.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, with that said, let's not, make the viewers wait too long. But I'd like to actually ask this question to Miss Sandra. How did you get into music?
Wow. Let's just say I evolved into music. Music was around me all my life. My mother wanted me to be a pianist. That was something that she wanted me to do. It's not something I wanted to do for myself. But I think that music thing is just in innate. And like I said, I've evolved with it.
Wow, you evolved with it. I mean, that's the key word. I like that word a lot because it stretches us to limits that, some of us can't even believe that we can get into. What would you say about that, Fernando? How did you get into music?
As a kid, I got a lot of negative comments,
Oh.
but then I picked up a bugle and I made a sound on it. And people erupted in applause because they could make a sound on it. And they said, wow. And I just remembered how that made me feel. And it was, I think the sound of an applause are more addicting than any drug that you can create.
Wow. The sound of an applause. Say that again, because that, to me, that seems like that should be on a t-shirt. That should be, on cars, anywhere. The sound, say that again.
I don't know what I said. I said the sound of applause is more addicting than any drug.
Wow. Miss Sandra, would you say the same thing?
I would agree with him. Sorry. I would totally agree with him. When he said it, I just let my mind go to that place when you are performing and to hear the appreciation or to be embraced by the love from the audience. Yes, it is addicting.
It is addicting. I miss, what I miss the most, I know, in terms of audience, because before an audience, there's a red carpet and we're in a city where there's so many events. And I miss just the anticipation of who's going to be on the red carpet and who's going to do what. Now, with the times that we're in, how has the pandemic affected you? And Ms. Sandra, you can speak on that.
I really, truly miss the camaraderie, to be able to be with others, to have fun, to listen to music together,
Yes.
Bounce ideas off of each other, embrace each other, have food together. As you can see, I enjoy my meals. It's just the whole socialization to be able, we humans were meant to be grouped, together, not separate and over here and over there. Not all of that. We need that. We need the gathering and the congregations. We need that. And those are the things that I miss. So during this time, I've had to find other ways to mingle with other people. And right now, Zoom is the way. but I still like human contact, and I've gotten to know my neighbors a little bit better.
Wow. I mean, you said some really important things that I'd like to go back to, but I'm going to let Fernando speak on that. How has the pandemic affected you?
It hasn't.
Oh, I love that.
No, because I think you put your mindset as a musician, you just have to improvise. You have to find other
Mm,
ways in which to interact with people. And Sandra touched on some of those with being Zoom. And I mean, we are connecting with people that we never had a chance to meet. Like I did Zoom classes with Wynton Marsalis, Krista McBride, the director of the Game of Thrones. Now, those people had never been available to me. And so now they are. And right now we're producing a fundraiser with Michael McDonald, John Mayer, and Jackson Brown. Like I said, all these people that I could never get to, now
right.
I can record a record with them. And so that's what we're doing, like working virtually. And if I want to socialize, I can do a virtual cocktail hour. I can get in with Sandra and my neighbors, go knock on their door, sit in the driveway and drink a nice glass of wine and tell stories. So it really hasn't affected me as much because, I'm not looking for, you have to figure out how to make lemonade out of the lemons that you've been dealt.
I love that. You just touched on a subject. Actually, you answered a question that I had for you in the later part of our show. But this is what I wanted to point out in terms of being multidimensional. I know that musicians, you're creative beings, creative minds, and with that said, how Miss Sandra, I'm going to let you answer this. How do you stay actively involved in the communities across the world and here in Los Angeles?
Well, I use social media a lot so that I can communicate with my friends around the world. And I'm so happy that I have friends that I can communicate with in different countries and all over the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have friends all over the world. And when I say friends, I'm not talking about virtual friends. I'm talking about real, tangible people that I have met. We have partied and socialized and enjoyed music together. We broke bread together. I'm talking about friends like that, organic friends.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when you have friends like that and they're all over the world, you can find out what's going on in their countries.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
So to be on the phone with Australia, Paris, China, Russia, you name it.
Yeah. Oh, you just being internationally connected. I noticed that you loosely solve a lot of people's problems that way. But also through music, take me back to how I know that our viewers don't know this about you, and I'll shed a little bit more light on this. But you've been dubbed the Queen of Afrobeat because of someone very special that you influenced in the African diaspora. Can you speak on that?
Yes, I can. And you would be talking about Fela Anikulapo Kuti.
Fela Anikulapo Kuti, indeed.
Yes. Fela, through music and through lectures, he did a lot to bring awareness to his people. He rang the bell, and he rang that bell hard for his people. But for some reason, they just did not wake in a timely manner, or a manner in which he or I thought they should.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very heavy period for us all right now. 2020, 2020 is bringing clear vision to many things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Fernando, I'd like for you to touch on just, how you mentioned how you stayed actively involved, with the communities across, and you mentioned some heavyweights in the business that I know that you're connected to. But with that said, and knowing what you've done for the youth, especially here in LA, is the youth served correctly with music in these times that we're in, and do they represent music well?
Mine do. My students get a lot of opportunities because they work hard. What behind the scenes, like when they make a mistake, they have to do push-ups. They have to say yes sir, yes ma'am. I mean, they have to gain some discipline. We actually just played the Billboard Awards. So and then before that we played with BTS, and then we played the American Music Awards with Sierra and Missy Elliott. So they get some kind of unique opportunities that they actually have to earn. So when I say push-ups, we actually call our push-ups celebrating, because they do push-ups when they make mistakes.
Right.
But if you can recognize your mistake, then you can grow. So we call it celebration. We don't call it push-ups. Like you said, man, if you made a mistake, celebrate. So they do 5 push-ups. So the theory is, so if they do 20 push-ups one day, the next day they're trying to do 15, they're trying to do 10, and then they're trying to get it down to 5, they're trying to get it down to 9. So they're getting this internal motivation. So we're pushing hard, and we're playing relevant things. We're not just playing little band competitions. We're making records. We have a CD out now for Fernando Pullum Community Arts Center with Aloe Black as our guest singer. Mm-hmm. But so when you get real tangible things to do, it helps. And then with those things that I have them to do musically, I make them feed the homeless. I make them perform for senior citizens.
Oh, wow.
So it has to be more than just playing some notes. You have to build some people. You can use the arts as an excuse and as an aid to build people.
Yes.
So we're just about playing. And Sandra's the same way. I think she's the Fela. It's like, what? I didn't know Sandra was even connected to him. But I listened to his music for so long. It's just so intoxicating. And then I realized through interviews and stuff that he was influenced by James Brown about it. And I said, wait a minute, I feel it. I had a chance to play with James Brown's band at the Hollywood Bowl. Right. And it was nothing like, wow, it's just, you can't explain that. You can't explain when I listen to the Afrobeat, you can't explain that theoretically. You have to feel it.
No, you can't explain. I think when you talk about music and Afrobeat especially, theoretically you said, but I think strategy is important, right? In making a change. And if anything, knowing what I know about Miss Sandra Izsadore is that she follows her purpose. And whether she knows it or not, I mean, she's here, I'll let her talk. But I wanted you, Fernando, to just tell us a little bit more about the youth, and then we'll go back to Miss Sandra, because elaborate, because I think, our viewers, what I know about you is quite inspirational. But I want you to speak on the youth that you mentor and that you teach.
Well, I teach 850 kids for free.
Wow.
And
free.
And free.
Wow.
And
free. That's a song. Wow.
So we raised, I have a capable staff, that some of them are my students as well. Okay. But we work really hard, and it's like I said, we're trying to make a broad mission. We're trying to build people with, the arts raises so much self-esteem. And everyone wants to be a part of a family.
Yes.
And it's like, kids join a gang because it's a family. They get some attention. Right. So we want to provide that positive attention. Oh, my. Oh, my. When trouble comes to me, I've got to move.
when trouble comes to you.